What's in your diary?
What's in your diary?
What's in your diary?
What's in yours?
Hey, diary dolls, it's your girl Ty, and I just want to welcome you to the It's Not Your Diary podcast. Hey, to all my diary dolls, I'm back again, episode 4. This episode is on peace of mind, and just getting that ultimate peace that we need to live our day to day. And I just want to let y'all know that I was at peace this morning when I woke up. I was feeling great about today. I was feeling great about my workload that I had at my 9 to 5. And I was feeling great about recording the podcast. And then let me just tell y'all how God works. I got thrown a wrench in my day, and I ended up calling my dad. I've been calling him for weeks, months at this point, and he hadn't been returning my phone call, or like he hadn't been picking up my FaceTime. So I'm like, okay, I call him 2 days in a row now. I call him Monday, Tuesday, and then I called him today. Today's Wednesday, and he didn't pick up. So I was like kind of worried. I'm like, okay. So then I called again, and he picked up, and he let me have it. He was very upset with me about a few different things. And I thought we had got to a place in our relationship where we were just past the whole ignoring, and I would just say kind of like immature behavior, and I guess we're not, and that's okay. I guess our relationship is still a work in progress. And that brings me actually to my first point, which is like expectations that we put on people. And I was just thinking, like, well, why did what he said to me hurt? Well, it hurt because I had an expectation for our relationship, and I was thinking we were in a good place, and I had an expectation that if he had an issue that he would just come to me. And then I was like, wow, well, I kind of messed up. I shouldn't have had that expectation because I don't really know that things are going to go my way and the way that I want them to go. And I have to accept that. And so, yeah, that's my day. And I know that's a lot. And actually, I hope y'all journals from last week. I just got right into it. I didn't even say, I hope y'all journals from last week went great. I hope y'all been praying that prayer for patience. I'm telling you, like, you're going to see things really changing in your life if you just continue to pray that prayer. Y'all just have to let me know how everything goes with that. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Control what you can. There's only so much you can give. There's only so much you can expect. There's only so much you'll be able to take from every situation. There's only so much you can control with those people in your life. I could have blown the whole situation up. I could have reacted. I could have said a bunch of things, but I honestly just text back and responded my true feelings, and I stated facts. You could have come to me before now. You didn't have to let things build up. Like, this could have gone a completely different way. We're both adults now, and we should be able to talk about things. So I have to control what I can control. I can't expect him to act a certain way, but I can express my frustration so that I can find the peace in the situation. Regardless if he would have texted back and said, I'm sorry, or regardless of his response, in order for me to find that peace, I have to be the bigger person. And sometimes you will feel like you're always being the bigger person in situations, and that's fine. I feel like people have so much pride. I even feel like myself, in the past, I had so much pride to the point where, in this situation, I would have snapped back instantly and I would have held a grudge. And the first thing I thought, it went back to forgiveness. Like, wow, like now I'm in a place where I have to figure out how to forgive him now. As soon as this happened, I was hurt. But then I thought, like, okay, How do I forgive? How do I move on? Well, I have to express how I feel to him first, and then I have to pray about it so that I can find that peace. Because what happens when you just hold on to the grudge, when you hold on to that hurt, when you hold on to all that anger, when you hold on to those words that person says to you, it's not about the details. Sometimes we get caught up in what the exact thing that's going on. Like, we get our feelings all in it and we get super emotional about the situation, and like, that's okay, but then you have to know how to wheel it back in. And a lot of times I feel like in the past I wasn't able to do that because I didn't have God the way I do now. But now I'm able to pray about it, and I'm saying, God, I know this has nothing to do with me. He might be upset about somebody else, something that they did. I'm not going to take all of this responsibility, because I understand that sometimes people's frustrations, it's not all about you. They might be dealing with their own stuff. So I'm not going to let this interrupt my peace. I can't let this interrupt what we work so hard for. Like, we work hard to find ourselves, to find peace, to forgive. And we can't let small setbacks set us back from all the work that we've done for years and months. All this work that we do on ourselves, we have to protect it. And I think not taking things personally is like such a huge aspect in it, because when you take everything personally, honestly, it just affects how you think, it affects how you sleep, because it's like you're constantly thinking about it. It's constantly on your mind. I took this so personally, I'm hurt. You owe me this, you owe me that. Then you start to point fingers. Then you start to feel like people owe you when no one owes you anything in this world. A lot of people have learned, like, this world is going to do to you what it wants. You have to take things as they come, because they're not going to always come wrapped up with a bow like you expect them to. Because when you constantly take things personally, you end up really starting to feel like you're missing pieces of yourself. Like, I really feel like I'm missing something. And for like a lot of us, like me, I grew up without my dad in my life. So now, us trying to rekindle our relationship and working on things, thinking that they're in a better place. It's like, when I was younger, I really felt like I was missing something. Like, I felt like it was a part of me that just wasn't there. And it was because as a child, you don't realize how much stress you're putting on yourself, feeling like you're missing something, how much damage we're doing to ourselves, just feeling like it's something, my dad isn't in my life, I'm missing something, there's something that I need, there's, like, you really feel like you're missing pieces of who you are. So then you grow up to be broken, you're not healed, because you've convinced yourself your whole life you are missing something. And I just think back, like, now, wow, what if I had never had that idea? Would I feel whole? Like, how would I feel? You kind of let the world determine how you think your life is supposed to be, and you see other people and you start to compare. And I think that's also another very damaging piece to peace of mind. Like, you can't compare yourself to anyone else, because you see that instant gratification, you see all these things, and it's just very, very damaging. Because again, you're setting an expectation that, well, I'm not where I should be, and I'm expecting that I should be somewhere else. I'm expecting God to bless me. I'm expecting all these things, when that's not your reality. God has a plan. So please, 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 just think about that. Thinking about social media. Think about what's going through your mind, even when you're scrolling on social media. Think about your relationships, just really focusing on who you are and what is it that I'm thinking about all the time? What is it that I'm talking about? Where am I spending my time? Are the people in my life supporting the peace? Are they really supporting who I am? Are they causing drama? Are they talking about everybody? Like, really think about that, because that is what you are constantly hearing. So that is what you're becoming. So if you're constantly around drama, there's no peace of mind there. You have no time to reflect. And our main goal is to really achieve the sort of peace where when things happen, you can maintain that peace. And it's crazy because, like, after this happened, I felt in me like, this is going to set me back. I've been doing all this work all year. And I just started to get frustrated. Then I stopped. I said, no, he didn't bring me my peace and he can't take it away. God brought me this peace. This is not a worldly peace. I didn't go find this doing yoga and meditating. I found this in God, and He maintained my peace when I was dealing with it. So I think definitely praying and staying faithful and understanding that no matter what, I'm going to maintain my peace of mind, because guess what? God provided me with this level that I'm at, and nobody can take it away. It's crazy that I always bring up the instant gratification, but like, I think social media is really ruining everything. I've been slowly distancing myself from it, and I've actually been horrible with posting on social media, and I need to get better at it, but I'm just like, like, I don't want to get on there. I just don't want to see like the wrong things. Cause then I just start, like, you just get annoyed. Like, I don't want to be annoyed. And yeah, you can try to control what's in your timeline, but then somebody might just post something and you're just like, so. But yeah, it's like this pressure that you just always want to feel pleasure. And I just say, that's instant gratification. Like, I just always want to feel pleasure, and I always want to feel good, and I always want to feel happy, and I always want to feel fulfilled, because everyone on social media is happy, and everyone is living their best life, living their blessed life, and everybody is doing great, and the world is good, and life is great all the time. And if life isn't good all the time, then I want to hurt myself, I want to hurt somebody else, I want to hurt the world. And like, we have to get out of this mindset that everything is going to be roses and sunflowers all the time, because it's not. And that's not the reality of the world. And sometimes we have to go through things if we want to be able to give back and want to be able to touch the lives of other people and be this vessel for God to work through. Like, we have to go through things. We have to experience life. We have to experience pain so that we can help somebody else get through. So we can really help somebody else get through what they're going through. Like, if we never went through anything, if we never experienced discomfort, if we never step out of our comfort zone, we'll never be able to reach the highest of the heights that God is trying to take us to. And that's okay. Maybe your peace gets disrupted a little bit, but guess what? You have God, so nobody can ever take that from you. You just have that faith, keep that faith, and hey, we're gonna all be okay. And my last point, but my very, very, very important point, is that you have to stop. Like, just stop right now. Stop talking to people that can't help with your problem. What's the point of talking to people? Like, they can't fix your problem. Your friends can't fix your problem. And I'm not saying don't talk to your friends. I'm not saying don't confide in them. I'm not saying don't go to them with your concerns. I'm not saying don't vent, but I'm saying don't go to them in hopes that they're going to give you advice that you can really apply to your life, because Your friends might tell you to do something that's not in God's plan for you. And now God has to completely tear down this whole painting that he was painting. Like, he had this picture in his mind, and now he gotta tear it down and start over because you listening to your friend from around the corner, and she don't know. She might not be close to God like you are. She might not believe at all. You don't know where people's opinions are coming from. Now, if this is somebody, like, this is your sister from church, this is somebody that you confide in about everything, talk to her. She can probably share an experience with you, but guess what? She probably gonna tell you to go pray about it. And if you tell your friend something and they don't ask you if you've prayed about it, you might want to evaluate that friend, especially if in this situation, in this point in your life, you're really seeking God and you're really looking to him for guidance, and your friends aren't turning you back to the word, to the Bible. Then you really have to evaluate, okay, should I be going to this friend with this? Not that you have to cut them out, but should I be talking to them about this in the first place? Because everybody doesn't know where you need to go. And that's why it's best if you turn to God first, remember God first, submit to God first, do what God says first. Then don't worry, like, everything is going to work itself out. You have nothing to worry about at that point. You don't have to worry about your peace of mind. Because I did vent about everything that went on. I did vent about it and I got it out. And like, I just had so many thoughts. I just needed to get them out, because I already knew what I had to do. I knew I had to go to God. I knew I had to pray about it. And I told him, this is not for me. He's upset. He's like, the things that he was saying, I'm just like, you not talking to me. You might think you talking to my mom. You might think you're talking to your mom. You might feel like you're talking to anybody else, but to talk to your child this way, I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. And guess what? It wasn't for me to wrap my mind around because it wasn't my battle. He's frustrated about something else, and I can't carry that on my back. I can't put it in a book bag and carry it on my back. It's impossible. It's not my burden to bear. I gave it to God and I let it go. And the reason why I brought it up on the podcast, because I was just like, wow, this is a sign. Like, my day was going great. And then I just called him thinking that I'm thinking he's upset, but even if he was upset about what he was upset about, I was thinking that he would come at me with respect. When I tell you he came at me with full disrespect and someone else had to hang up his phone because all the things he was saying was just so bad, that's what I mean. Like, this wasn't him. This was the devil. Like, the devil was at me. And he thought he was going to get me. He like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shank her right here. And no, you're going to have to come harder. And sometimes you just got to tell the devil, come harder. Come harder, because the God that I serve, he got my back. And if I can't handle it, I'm going to give it to him. I'm not going to put it on my back. So, yeah. I just had to let y'all know, like, whew, it was a crazy day. So, get those journals out. And this topic for this week's journal is peace is a choice. And I know you might title it the header of the podcast, but no, peace is a choice. We have to look at it as a choice. So our first question, I want y'all to write this one down and think about this one long, please. The first question is, do I have expectations for the people in my life? That's the first one. Our second one is, if so, why do I have these expectations? And really dig deep. You have to dig deep within you to really understand why you have the expectations that you have. And then our third question, have you prayed for God to release you from those expectations? And these three questions, I really want you to ask yourself whenever you get upset, whenever you're scrolling on social media and start comparing yourself, whenever you feel any sort of disruption to who you are and how you think, and how, like, if you feel like you can't sleep, you can't eat, you feel like you're sleeping too much, you feel like there's just something constantly on your mind, you feel like your mind is racing, you feel like you just have no control over anything, and you just feel like people are just coming at you, you feel like you have nowhere to turn, ask yourself, do I have expectations for the things and the people in my life? Like, what is it? Like, you have to get to the bottom of what it is. Because just like I was saying, now I have to forgive and I have to have faith. Like, I have to still have faith. Even the situation that happened with my dad, like, I still have to have faith in him, in our relationship, in his relationship with his grandson. I still have to have that faith. Like, I can't just be like, oh, he done went off on me, it's over, I'm cutting you off, I'm not trying no more. Like, no, you can't just put up that wall. Now, if it's a toxic, reoccurring relationship and you saying that this person isn't working on themselves, you don't see it going anywhere, you feel like it's the same cycle over and over, that's a different situation. Then it's like, okay, I have to evaluate. Is this a toxic relationship? Is social media toxic for me? Then we're getting into different questions. And those are also things you can write down. Anything that's disrupting your day-to-day life. I can't go to work now. Well, have you checked your expectations? Have you checked the toxic people in your life? Like, what's causing this? And really thinking about what's causing it. So yeah, that's our show for the week. And follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I know I said I haven't been posting, but y'all, I'm trying to get the podcast on Apple. I might have a co-host joining me. There's amazing things coming for this podcast, and stay tuned. And I'm so grateful for the few listeners that we have. Definitely give us reviews, DM me any feedback, comment any feedback, anonymous, not anonymous, we don't care, just get it to me now. So it was a great show. I'll talk to y'all next week, same time, same place. Y'all have a great week and work on those journals. Bye.